My name is Fatuma Kuso. My daughter, Zahra Adam Boule, the eldest of my 5 children, went missing Friday, May 26th. 12 days later, her husband of 18 years had been arrested and charged with the first degree of her murder. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm not here to speak to you about the when, the where, the how, the who, the what, and the why of the criminal case. That I am going to leave it to the criminal justice system. But what I want to speak to you today is the idea of what happens when somebody leaves an abusive partner. But before I get into the discussion, I want to let you know that I am not an expert in relationship, nor am I a psychologist. Everything I share with you here is based on a personal experience. So if we agree, abuse is the outcome of the desire to have control over another. If that's the definition we're going with, and if you want to understand how I discussed about that, please watch my last video in this playlist so you could see how I went about that. So if we go with the idea that abuse is the symptom, the outcome of the desire to have total control over somebody else, then if the woman says, I can't do this anymore, I am out of here. Not only is she saying, you cannot tell me how to dress and how to be and who to be with and how to associate with people. You cannot tell me when and how I can go to work function or if I can get a job. You cannot tell me when and how I can visit a friend or I can do this. Not only is the woman saying, if you deny me access to the car, to the computer, to the phone, then I'm going to find my way around. But this act of saying, I would totally deny giving you access to me, that's it, I am out of here. That is the ultimate threat to the power that this person desires so desperately. So you saying, I am out of here, you are not going to do this to me, that is the greatest threat you can give them as a consequence. On average, women go back to these kind of relationships 7 times. And I know this because my daughter went back over 10 times. So when you leave and you deny this person total access to you, which means that you denied their power over you 100%, that is the ultimate threat. And when you go back, and I'm not going to tell you not to go back. Why are you going back? Why are you doing this? That doesn't work. I learned that from personal experience. So what I will tell you is, if you're going back, and the reasons for a woman to go back varies. It could be he apologized and it would never happen again. Financial reasons. I need to give my relationship another chance. There are children involved in this relationship and I need to make sure the children have access to both parents. Person said they will do whatever it takes for this not to happen again. Person convinced you that you are such an irritating person. You are pushing them to act, to behave, to treat you in a certain way. If you only changed your ways, then everything will be fantastic. Whatever your reason is, you are going back. But I want you to think about, before you go back, that if this person was progressively becoming more and more abusive. It started with telling you how to be and who to be with and who to associate with. And you resisted that after a while, because we all have our own threshold of how much patience we have with others, how much patience we can afford in a situation before we feel like we're drowning in this trouble and we have to save ourselves. So then it gradually moved, denying you access to communications, to transportation, to financial resources, anything and everything. And then you resisted that and it gradually moved to name calling and abusive language, and you resisted to that, and then it moved to physical violence. So even though you were resisting to things, this person still had access to you, still had way to impose their power over you. It still had way to satisfy their desire to control you and have power over you. Imagine then, by you leaving and saying, I am not doing this anymore, you administer the ultimate consequence to this person by taking away their power in 100% of the time, because they have no access to you. You are not there. They can't call you names. They can't slap you upside the head. They can't take away the car keys from you. They can't take the phone. They cannot lock you in a room. They cannot do any of that because you're not there. You took their power away 100% of the time. And then you go back for whatever reason. And I'm not judging, and I'm not saying why you're going back. I'm not even saying don't go back. Just let's imagine you went back. And the next conflict, which we know in the best of people, best of situations, there are conflicts in life all the time. Next time there is a conflict and you resist something they're trying to tell you, you resist something they're trying to do, you say, no, that's not how it is. You have a voice, you have a disagreement, and now this person gets into their abusive ways. Remember, this whole idea of you leaving, denying them any access to you, is in the back of their mind. Just like in the back of your mind, you're thinking, but you said yesterday you're not going to behave like this. But you said last time you are not going to treat me like this. But you said last time you are going to change. But you said last time you are a changed person. They're saying the same thing. But last time you tried to destroy the family. You tried to break up this family. Last time you left and you wouldn't even take my calls. Last time you left and you took the kids with you and I didn't know where you were. So now you could understand this person, not only do they have the threat of you resisting to their control, now they're threatened by you taking away 100% of their power by denying them any access to you. So I want you to think about that. If by thinking about that you decide not to go back, great. But if you go back, then make sure you have safe exit strategy when and if the situation gets too volatile and too violent for you. And if you have a woman in your life that is in that situation, don't make the same mistake I made by telling them, don't go back. This happened yesterday. This happened week before. This happened month before. This happened year before. Don't tell them that, because this woman knows all you're telling her. Telling people something they already know is interesting, but it's not useful. It's not helpful. So bring it to their attention. Ask this woman, what do you expect to happen when you go back next time there is a conflict? How do you think this person will behave next time there is a conflict, there is disagreement, there is misunderstanding, there is challenges that come with being alive? How do you think this person will behave? How do you think they will take when this threat of you now having the ability, having the courage, having the strength to say, I am out of here and leave, sitting in the back of their mind? How do you think they will behave? And even if the person doesn't give you an answer, let them think about that. That will accomplish you two things. Hopefully, it will encourage the person not to go back. That's a best outcome. Second outcome would be the person to have safe exit strategy next time something like that happens. I wish I had a foolproof situation where I could tell you if you did A, B, C will be the outcome, but I can't. But I'm telling you, this will be the best way to take in really a difficult situation. Thank you.